This is about really, really stepping into identity shifting the feminine way. Another thing you hear me talking about is that it's so important that we as women back ourselves up as we're in the process of becoming. So what do you need to feel infinitely supported? Now, I'm talking about everything from ground level support, self-care habits, daily routines, your friends, your relationships, your team members, having a coach, a mentor, a sisterhood that you belong to, that you feel really mirrors your level of frequency and where you're going next. Welcome to The Rise Show, a podcast for highly driven and spiritual women with big ideas, dreams, and visions. Audacious women just like you, who are committed to their evolution and obsessed about all things personal growth, spirituality, manifestation, and feminine embodiment. I'm your host, Nathalie Banaszak, feminine success and branding coach, and I'm here to support you on your journey and path of expansion. I know you're ready for so much more. Permission granted to go for greatness, your wildest desires, and the most radiant and full expression of the brand called you. Are you ready? Let's begin. Welcome back to The Rise Show. I'm your host, Nathalie. And today we're diving into one of the most powerful conversations we can have when it comes to speaking about personal growth and personal transformation. So this episode, stepping into your next level identity and how to shift into your future self. So this isn't an episode I'm teaching from a textbook. This isn't something I mastered and completed years ago. Personal growth and evolution doesn't work that way. Expansion is a forever exploration because your dreams, your visions grow naturally as you do. So for me, I am in this work right now. And in a sense, I'm always in this work. I'm living this expansion as I speak to right now. So I know from my own lived experience what it takes and how it can feel as you go through transition. This is also why this episode matters so much, because as I see it, the most powerful conversations are the ones we have while we are becoming. So if you're in a moment where the woman you've been feels too small, like you've outgrown your old self, noticing perhaps that what used to fit simply doesn't fit or excite you anymore. And at the same time, the woman you're becoming feels closer and perhaps further away at the same time. Well, you're in the right place. Expansion and personal growth isn't for the faint-hearted. It's all about choosing to show up for yourself, honoring, trusting, and being grateful for the process of becoming. Okay, so let's go deeper. I believe that there is a moment in every woman's personal evolution where she will wake up and realize, I'm not her anymore. I love her. But at the same time, I know I'm becoming more fully me. But I'm not fully the new me either. So where does that leave me? This is when you start noticing that old patterns feel heavy. You will notice them in a second. Old desires feel like they're fading away. Old environments feel off. This is where old relationships starts to feel mismatched. And old goals might just feel too small. This is important. Know that this isn't breakdown energy. This is expansion. I've experienced so many of these moments myself. So let me give you a couple of examples and let's see if you can relate to something similar that you've felt or perhaps you're in it right now. So for you who know me since before, or for you who are new, I've been living many years abroad. I've been traveling for, well, basically my full adult life. And I've spent many longer periods away from my home country. And I feel that using environment as a natural sign that show us how much we are growing, that has been very impactful for me. So for example, to just choose, let's say, Bali in Sweden right now, whenever I go or whenever I return, I will always feel even more the big shifts that's been happening within me. So, and this has become very different nowadays. It used to be very different when I was younger, when I had not yet fully stepped into that level of personal power that I know live in. But regardless, returning back, I will always look into the old version of Nathalie. And it doesn't have to be even that far from now. This time when I returned, for example, I mean, I left now in June. That's just a couple of months. But for me, living and breathing and being this work, that means massive shifts have changed. And that will take some time for me always to be with, to fully integrate so that I can anchor in who I've now become. So using your environment can be very powerful and potent to notice how much you've actually grown. And it can also feel challenging. It raises these questions that, okay, well, what now? What's my direction now? You can look into perhaps, a job, an angle of your brand, or something big. It can be a home. It can be so many different things. It used to feel like the perfect fit and used to be in alignment for you. And all of a sudden, there's a mismatch. Outgrown your circle of old friends. And this can feel very hard to be very conscious about, well, who am I at this day? And who are the people that I really choose to spend time with? And this does not make any past relationships bad or wrong. It's about honoring everything that's been, what is, and who we are becoming. And I know firsthand that this takes space. And space is also what creates integration, embodiment. So this is also the threshold. Like, it's a moment where your soul whispers that, okay, we're not doing life this way anymore. This doesn't feel right. So I'm choosing something else. And this can also be a moment where it gets uncomfortable, but at the same time, oh, so liberating and light, because it's real. There is so much theory to gather in the world of personal growth, and I want to speak a little bit about identity versus mindset as two concepts. Obviously, they're aligned, but I'm the first one to say that study and knowledge is absolutely fundamental. We study, like reading books, having a beginner's mind, staying curious. That's fundamental. But also, I noticed, and this was a pivotal moment in my own life, personally and professionally, that most people tend to stop at the theory. So we might gain awareness and notice, I have this inner critic speaking, and sense that limiting beliefs are holding you back. But as I always say, with so much tough love, well, if you're noticing this, it's obviously not loving, it's not serving you. What are you doing with all this awareness? Knowledge without action doesn't translate into embodied personal transformation or any kind of true up level. So mindset is what you think. The thoughts, you get to choose to think. This is important. We are not doomed to live with a specific mindset. This is reprogramming, and this is when you can actually, think yourself into results. Because yes, your thoughts hold a vibration. They become things, your emotions, and your emotions live in your body. So let's take this deeper. Identity is who you are. Your personality, same thing here. You are not doomed with a set personality. And this is not something we generally are being taught in society. This is the representations of the actions you choose to take. So to take this one step further, it translates directly into the art of being. So who do you choose to be right now, today? Because identity is what sets your energy, your room, your boundaries, your level, your presence, your confidence, your pricing, and your willingness to be fully seen. So your results follow your identity. And when I say identity, I mean the beliefs you hold about yourself. And this is sneaky because all of us are subject to conditioning at any level in our lives. And either those old self-concepts stay buried in the subconscious or we bring them up to surface. And it's a self-image you hold about yourself. So let me repeat what I just said. Your results, your manifestations follow your identity. And again, I have so many stories to tell. I always say that we can create like a sub-season of each topic in each episode. I've shared this before, but I'll share it again because it's one of the most profound changes I've been going through that has been shifting everything for me. So in 2020, I committed to a 1-year self-mastery training in neuroscience. And in short, it was a commitment to rewire my subconscious, to heal my nervous system. It was all about daily integration and radical accountability. I was working with a high-end mentor. This was at the level of, daily work and weekly accountability. And it's also the year that I truly understood what embodiment means, what emotional mastery means. So what happened because of that commitment is that I reprogrammed my mind and nervous system. And this is, again, a forever journey. I'm getting to this point. It's not like, done? No. And you hear me say this all the time. The sooner we can accept that it's not even about arriving, because when we arrive at one point, most often we are evolving into something else. But my point is, up until that point, I had worked very focused on mindset and body, but not at the level of embodied integration. So I went through a massive identity shift. And it was created because I was so committed to my transformation. It's just one example of how a committed choice combined with the power of identity shifting really, really create a completely different experience of life for every single area. So when we go through identity shifting, it will mean you've had for yourself that you feel that others had for yourself. And to summarize, like versions of yourself you've long mastered. So you can love people deeply. You can be so massively grateful for everything and everyone and still feel yourself rising into a whole new chapter. This is not rejection. This is not abandoning yourself. It's not making you bad. This is the path of alignment. And since you're here, I believe that that's what you truly long for. So let me give you another example of the importance of making choices that allows us to breathe and expand. For me, it's been absolutely imperative that I've traveled all over the world, that I moved abroad. I've been living in Bali for the past years. And I'm mentioning this because for me, environment and traveling showed me very early this concept. Oh goodness, there are endless millions of ways to live life, to lead life, to grow a business, a brand, and to create success in a way that feels right. So I was being shown this very early, like even in my early 20s when I was out traveling. And what I mean is, for example, in my case at least, if I would only have stayed in what was safe and comfortable, familiar for me, my old home city, like I'm born and raised in a quite small city, which I dearly love. I have so much love for my childhood and my city where I come from. But if I never would have, gone outside of my comfort zone, well, how could I fully have noticed and witnessed what's out there? And I'm not saying, we need to go travel to expand our minds. You can expand your mind and heart and soul every single day, no matter where you are, where you live. So it's not about geography at all. I'm sharing this experience because for me, it's been one of those examples that I know has been imperative for me, that I've been away. I've experienced so many other layers than what traditional society teaches us. And for me, then, I'm using myself here, the experience and vibration that is present in Bali versus the energy and frequency that's very aligned in Sweden is very differently. And this is where I was at when I moved to Bali. I felt like Bali completely held me. It was not even for me, a big move to the other side of the world. It was so natural because I felt so held. I met people who were on a similar path to me, all ages, from all over the world. It was like I got to connect with a tribe that mirrored me, that me that felt so aligned and truth. And at that point, it was a complete different in frequency for me. And now, when I'm back, after many years going back and forth, I hold a completely new understanding and energy and frequency that I have all this here available in Scandinavia and in Europe. However, though, it is a different environment and a different scene. And it means that this energy and context is to be found in other rooms that I'm now exploring. So for me, having such a global heart, I see myself as a woman of the world. And still, oh my goodness, I'm Swedish at heart. But still, this is the perfect example of realizing that as women, when we claim it, we do get to have it all. It's not selfish. This is self-love at the highest level. Because when we stay true to our hearts, we can tap into our inner callings, our innermost truths, our potential, which always equals higher level of service and contribution from a place that feels deeply in line with who we are. And take this story and make it yours because, same but different. We always have different seasons and chapters in life. So regardless of where you are at right now, identity shifting can look very different. It's not like it's tied to a country or a city. It can be, but most of all, it's what's going on in your internal world. And you can bet that what's going on in your internal world, well, that's going to be a complete reflection of the resolve that you get to experience in your external world. So we have the in-between, the gap. The gap between where you are, who you are, and where you want to go, and who you want to be. Now, this is where the old identity, the personality, dissolves. The new identity isn't fully embodied yet. You feel exposed and perhaps invisible at the same time. Now, this is also where women experience, most typically, it can be feelings of doubt, confusion, expansion at the same time. It can be resistance, yearning and longing, and also excitement and fear of being seen. And then we have, fear of being too seen. So it's sacred It's uncomfortable, maybe, and it's also necessary. This is the initiation into your next level. And it gets to be messy and it gets to be beautiful at the same time. And know that when your identity shifts, the rooms and environments you feel that you belong in, they will change. Now, this is happening for me right now. As I said in the beginning, I'm in this work always. And it's big. And this is when you will feel called to bigger and more expansive spaces that can hold your higher frequency. It will, well, you might feel called to other creative environments with movers and shakers who are up to great things, people who inspire you. And this can be leaders, women, people, brands, companies, building movements, visionary circles, new conversations, new communities, new relationships. You can make this list yours. What are you currently being called to? What are the rooms you want to be in? So this is it. Your next level identity requires new rooms. And you are the one who have to give yourself permission to fully take a seat at the table where you want to sit, where you feel and know you belong. Not your old self, not the limiting stories you've held about your old self. No, what your intuition deeply know to be true. What feels inspirational to you? What feels expansive to you? What feels right in your whole body and being? So where I'm at right now, I'm recording this from Gothenburg in Sweden, again, my home city. I'm here in a city that I deeply love. It is my city, as I realize, for grounding, for stability, for anchoring. And every time I come back here, it's my recalibration time. My nervous system knows this to be safe. And at the moment, like at the speed I'm evolving, it feels nourishing to just take this time to be in it, in this phase of actually anchoring in what I've built. So for me, for example, Bali always equals creative building, you know? And we all need time to integrate. It's very easy when we're passionate about personal growth to be in this cycle of forever evolution. We need to honor space and time to integrate what we've learned and, you know, the concepts that we have experienced that's been creating shift within us. So yeah, to extend this conversation, I'm speaking from my own experience, how one thing can mean many things. So for me, again, I love my home city so much. I love to be here. But I've also learned that for me, this could never ever be all. Then I would feel limited in a sense. Because for me, travel equals wide open horizons. It gives me this sense of being unlimited. And it's always been a part of my innermost true self. So I need the world too. Therefore, my business and brand has grown into that because it's been a huge part of my vision. Otherwise, I would seriously not have been true to myself. I would have been dimming my desires. Now, keep in mind again, your higher truth is most likely something completely different. That's what's so wild with authentic, personal, magnetic branding. It's brand power. Now, this is you. This is your identity expanding. It also holds your whole story. The desires you hold within your heart is what creates your edge. However, though, this is your edge when you're being radically honest with what you truly want, your highest dreams and visions, what feels right to you, and going back to what are the rooms you see yourself in. And this does not mean you have to go global to feel limitless. That's just what's right for me. And I always feel it always creates something between us when I share more personally, not just client experiences or things that I witnessed in my own life and community. again, personally and professionally. I want us to have this conversation together. So let's get real together. And this part excites me so much. It's obviously why I love to do this work so much, because your future self, the woman you dream of becoming, she already exists. She's not someone you chase like a mad woman. She's someone you choose to access. Everything you desire, whether that be, or perhaps a combination of all, more impact, more love, more money, abundance, visibility, clients, partnerships, aligned opportunities, belongs to the woman you're becoming. So this is about consciously creating your next level identity. Identity expansion is the gateway. Becoming her, now that's the work. So this is how you, me, all of us bridge the gap between where we are and where we desire to be. This is why truly knowing what you want is absolutely fundamental. And as I always say, not the playing small version, not the dimming your light kind of dream. Ooh, am I allowed to think this, to want this? No. This is about visionarying. This is about expanding your belief systems. This is about honoring yourself, allowing yourself to get so honest with what you want. And may I add, as women, it's common that we only speak out loud about the purpose, the positive impact, the deeper purpose and meaning our growth will contribute to the world as part of why our vision is important. And I'm, again, the first one to speak about the power of our why. We all need to feel fulfillment, and meaning is directly tied to that. However, though, and my brand is all about radiance and joy and pleasure. This is key for us women to feel like we're thriving. So add the joy, the pleasure, whatever it is, in your whole life vision that completely lights you up, because that's part of the full thing. For me, I was mentioning it, repetitively through this episode, traveling, exploring our world, new experiences, all sorts of them. Luxury and quality living, these are part and components that delights me. I can go way deeper, but I do know that when I gave myself those everyday luxuries, that makes me feel fantastic, which is most often just about deep, embodied presence and slowing down so much. It simply fuels my radiance, which is my energy. This is the high-end rise frequency that I'm offering my clients, which ultimately is what I sell and offer. So what is your next level identity frequency? It takes something to stay high vibe and committing to live in the frequency that actually matches the life you see yourself live and lead in your higher vision, personally and professionally. So, for example, and you can probably feel the theme. I mean, the theme for you who are listening constantly to these episodes. And if you have not previously listened to the episodes before this, please do so, because as women, femininity, it's a fundamental concept that radically can shift how we actually want to create results, how we manifest things. So one of the things that's become a non-negotiable for me these last couple of years, since I really started to explore femininity as an energy, as a vibration to live and be in, is, again, how I desire to create results. I'm no longer available for the hustle culture. And I decided that I do life and business my way, the feminine way, and I'm very unapologetic about that, because this is what honors my speed and my rhythm as a woman. By all means, this requires that I show up daily for my vision. It's just that the place that I'm taking action from is completely different if I would compare to my old personality, my old identity that I've outgrown. This is how we move beyond old self-limiting beliefs and old paradigm, old self-concept that doesn't align with our higher truth. And again, you are here. I believe you too have a deep desire for wanting to manifest your dreams in a way that feels true to you, easy, effortless and gorgeous. Note, when I say effortless, that does not mean that it doesn't require effort, that the vibration of the effort that you're taking, that's the energy that's going to shift everything away around for you. So this is about really, really stepping into identity shifting the feminine way. Another thing you hear me talking about is that it's so important that we as women back ourselves up as we're in the process of becoming. So what do you need to feel infinitely supported? Now, I'm talking about everything from ground level support, self-care habits, daily routines, your friends, your relationships, your team members, having a coach, a mentor, a sisterhood that you belong to, that you feel really mirrors your level of frequency and where you're going next. And I could keep on going. You get my point. So give yourself the gift of one, getting crystal clear about your higher vision, which represents your true heart desires. And this is your burning desire. It's not would be nice to have. It's what you want, what you deeply desire. 2, second, ask yourself the forever question. Okay, who do I need to become to live this reality? Who is this woman? What's her identity? Crystallize your next level self-identity. Now, this is crucial. We need this radical level of clarity. And then obviously, the third step, be willing to show up for the work, to anchor and establish your new level self, and make sure that you give yourself whatever you need to feel infinitely supported as you boldly say yes and claim your future self. Know also that feeling infinitely supported is so much about another hugely transformative shift, allowing yourself to receive the support that's available to you. This is so important. I still remember early in my journey when one of my mentors said, Nathalie, no one ever brought themselves into their vision by themselves. Allow yourself to be and feel supported. I mean, that was theory that I knew, but at that moment, something shifted within me. And this is exactly what I mean, tying back to how we started, the difference between just thinking of a theory and allowing it to become transformation in your being, in your body, which represents to the actions you take and how you show up. So the feminine way, again, is not about just sitting on a chair and awaiting things to shift. No. It's the evolution, it's identity shifting, and this is going to take something. It requires action. However, it's all about choosing inspired action. If you've been listening and you recognize yourself, you feel that pull, that quiet knowing that you are in an identity shift right now, that you're becoming the woman that your future requires, just know that this phase isn't meant to be walked alone. It's meant to be held, to be witnessed, to be fully expressed and expanded. And over the next days, I'll be sharing something beautiful that I've been creating for women in this exact transition. Women who are ready to boldly step into their next level identity with radical clarity, gentle softness, and inner power. This is the feminine way. You'll know instantly if it's for you. For now, trust the woman you're becoming and know she is already here. And I am rising with you. If you loved this podcast, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you get updates anytime I post a new episode. And if you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and share this with a sister you know needs to hear this message and leave a review. It would mean so much, as I love to envision a world with more feminine, embodied leaders. If you're looking to further grow, evolve, and expand your life and business, connect with me on Instagram and sign up for my Rise newsletter. Get ready to receive special announcements, inspiration, high vibe self-empowerment, tips, hacks, and tools on how to become the woman you most want to be right into your inbox. Link in the show notes. Until next time, have a gorgeous week.